Today, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, I am going to do a video which I promised to make 3 weeks ago, talking about upcoming tier 9 and tier 10 tanks which are in the game. Some of you have seen a couple of those tanks played by the Super Des players already. For example, like this vehicle over here, tier 10 Leon, Italian Leopard basically, with auto reloading gun. Or some other vehicles, unreleased tanks, what are being tested by the Super Des players, or which files I was simply able to see in the game. This is what I said after I made my 12 unreleased premium tanks in World of Tanks video, predicting some holiday ops tanks as well, and we were actually quite accurate over there. We called BZ176 and the M47 improved pattern as well. Well, not directly that, because M47 improved pattern is a bit different vehicle, but we received the Iron Arnie's version, which was a bit of a trick wargaming pulled, right? But over here you can see 10 tanks listed, and 9 of them are actually, you can see, special category vehicles. So either a premium tank or a reward vehicle somewhere, somehow. And a couple tanks are not over here, which are being tested directly on the Super Des server, like many upcoming Chinese heavy tanks, the jet booster tanks, and here are a couple more. And I am going to start off with a vehicle called SU-122-54. Now, I have not seen this tank being tested by the Super Des players. I added his tank to the list because, you know, 10 unreleased tanks sounds way better in the title than 9 unreleased tanks, right? But also for the reason that every single time Wargaming is introducing back old tanks which were in the tech tree, such as this one over here, people are asking, when Wargaming are you going to give me back my SU-122-54? It wasn't like the best tank in the game when it was a tier 9 tech tree vehicle, and if I'm not mistaken, they removed this tank when they introduced Object 268 version 4 into the game, because it was a tier 9 tech 3 tank leading into 263, but then they moved 263 from tier 10 into tier 9 position and simply added version 4, and this tank went into the oblivion. But what is so special about this, guys? Why would you like to see it back? Because honestly, there are so many of you who ask, like, just give me back my SU-122-54. It was mobile, it was quite fast back in the days, like for the back in the days meta, and for a tank destroyer, it was one of the fastest tank destroyers in the game, in tech tree, actually, like many years ago. But the game has changed a lot, and I would say this vehicle needs to be buffed or needs to be tuned a bit to fit into the game now as well, because, you know, this armor over here, it is not allowing you to be super aggressive, because this armor values of a version of SU-122-54, which I'm able to see in the garage right now, 100 hull armor, it is full green. Even versus this tank, 230 pen, 390 alpha, it is full green. Like superstructure, it doesn't bounce too many things. 2.5k DPM, nice, you know, you can buff that down, or you can buff that up even more a bit. 6.45 second reload time, quite a fast reload for 390 alpha, 230 standard penetration right over here. So yeah, this is SU-122. What is so special about that, guys? Why do you want to see this vehicle back in the game? It has the special reward category tab right up there, you can see on the top left, but when and how and if ever they're going to introduce it back, I do not know. So moving on, next up we have Object 590. This is a versatile medium tank, guys. Now this is a vehicle what I have not seen being tested by the Super Des players, but I have talked about this on my channel before, over a year ago actually, and this is auto reloading Soviet medium tank with 320 alpha. The reload times over here, I would say, are going to be tuned a bit, are going to be buffed, because 8.3 seconds, 14.7 and 18.6 second reload times for this magazine or for the clip on an auto reloading tank is a bit too long, isn't it, for 320 alpha? Like, if I'm simply comparing it to the standard B or to the Progetto 46, a bit, I would say this is going to be tuned a bit. Minus 5 degrees of gun depression, gun handling is quite atrocious as well, almost 3 second aiming time for 320 alpha and 0.41 dispersion. but equals 2.3k DPM. DPM-wise, not too bad DPM-wise. You know, if you cycle the final shell, but if you have to empty your magazine, well, your DPM drops quite a bit. Full clip reload time is 41.61 seconds. Of course, this can be buffed, but, you know, quite a long one. And 4.3 second reload time between shot. Ooh, damn. 1.8 thousand hit points. It has some hull armor, but because of the gun depression, it cannot use it too good. If I'm going to show you the armor profile as well, here it is versus the same 225 millimeters of penetration. I would say, like any other tier 9 tank, is able to penetrate it quite easily into the upper plate, lower plate, commander hatches up here as well, and it has actually some weaker spots in the face of the turret as well. So this tank, I would think, is still in the making, but it is the first auto-reloading Soviet medium tank, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mobility, 700 horsepower engine, 17.46 powered weight ratio, 52 top speed, 20 moving backwards, 45.89 traverse speed. So mobility, I would say, is decent mobility, not anything like unique or special over here, just the decent, not the fastest top speed, not the best powered weight ratio, just, you know, workable, let's put it that way. The most interesting thing about this tank, of course, whenever it ends up in the game, is the auto reloading mechanic. Next up, however, we have quite an interesting tank, Object 752, which looks like it kind of, from some angle it looks like a light tank, under some angles it looks like a medium tank, but it is actually a heavy tank, guys. Versatile heavy tank, tier 9 heavy tank with 390 alpha, 246 penetration, 32.6 second reload time for the full magazine, ladies and gentlemen, because this is autoloader. It is a Soviet autoloader with 390 alpha, a tier 9 heavy tank autoloader, 3.2 second reload time between shots right now. But guys, of course, keep in mind everything is subject to change. All the vehicles you are going to see in today's video are subject to change. They may tune every single characteristic, but we can get an idea at least which gun system they're going to use, how they're going to look like, how the armor profiles are going to be, and so on. And this tank, you know, besides the gun, has one very interesting or unique hull feature. More about that in a second when I show you the armor. But -8 degrees of gun depression. This is big, actually. 3.26 aiming time is massive. Accuracy 0.4. Quite a bad dispersion as well. But, you know, this is a Soviet tank. It hits anyway. 1800 DPM. DPM definitely is low, but this is autoloader. We have to keep that in mind. And it is going to be kind of a brawler. Because if you look at the armor overall, it has the Gunzepanzer, or not Gunzepanzer, what is this? Kampfpanzer 07 or the M4 Yoast treatment. It has the turret inside the turret, basically, or a thicker plate is protecting the moving part of the turret. 1750 hit points, hull armor 197, 140, very good freaking side armor, right, 140, and 80 in the rear, turret 330, 150, and 120. But the most interesting part about this armor layout, guys, is over here. In the game, you really didn't catch it, right? You didn't catch that it has the kind of the Object 279E's hull shape. It has the V-shaped hull, which is not that pointy V-shaped hull, but still it is over there. So hull down, good luck trying to penetrate this in the matchmakings. It has -8 degrees of gun depression. The best thing to penetrate close-up hull down, of course, are going to be the commander hatches, which are going to be easy penetration unless the player is wiggling, is increasing its gun a lot like this, you know. This is the only way how you're able to hide it. It is able to elevate its gun quite nicely. So this is how I wanted to see. Like, this tank over here is basically how I wanted to see them balancing Grunvan as well. Because Grunvan's biggest problem was the freaking impenetrable turret and no weak spots at all. And this is how I wanted them to balance it. I wanted them to make players play with the vehicle. Actually, you know, work with their armor. Like, you take the shot, boom, boom, boom with Grunvan, and then you have to move, you have to at least work a bit to bounce a couple shots close up, close range at least, you know, with bigger commander hatches. This is basically what is happening over here. You take your shots, you have the auto loading gun, you take your shots, but you are not invulnerable while you do that, because commander hatches are going to be very easy penetration, but after you take your shot, you actually have to work to bounce enemy shots back, right? Because the turret is quite massively protected because of that thick plate up there. The sides, well, you know, not going to bounce too much. Is it a good side scraper? On an angle like that, it can bounce some things, but premium rounds are going through it, and you have to be accurate with your shots. Some action over here in the commander hatch or driver's hatch. Actually, the driver hatch is also a weak spot in the front, seems like it. But side scraping wise, reverse side scraping, how is that looking like? It is... commander hatch is still. So, yeah, the most interesting part about the armor definitely is the shape and hull down. When you are hull down, you are very, very tough tank to penetrate, to take out if you work with your vehicle. But this is how the armor profile looks like. Mobility-wise, 40 top speed, 12 moving backwards, 14 power to weight ratio, so mobility is okay at the best. Not the slowest tank, but definitely not the fastest one either. 380 meters view range. What would you think about that? Would you like to see this in the game? Somehow, somewhere, as a reward vehicle or as a premium tank? Soviet autoloader, guys. Let me know what you think about that, because moving on to the next vehicle, and this is what people have been seeing on the live server, being tested by the super displayers. Actually, K91-2. This is a premium tank, makes you more credits, at least for now. This is classified as a premium tank, which makes you more credits as well. 300 alpha damage, 248 penetration, 6.9 second reload time, nice, minus 6 degrees of gun depression, good aiming time, I would say good gun handling, at least on the paper right now, 2600 DPM, survivability wise 1.5 KHP, 110, but yeah, it can bounce some things, I would say, if I remember correctly. Once again, let's go back. K91 2, where is this? K91 version 2, yes, right over here. I remembered it can bounce some things, but not too much. Actually, maybe I remembered it wrong. Oh my god, this has the... Oh my god, this is... What? Why do you even give it a turret? Just give it a massive weak spot as a turret, because... yes, your front of the turret, guys, is bouncing something. It is bouncing something, but nobody is going to miss that. Nobody is going to miss your massive commander. It is not even a commander hatch. It is just a commander apartment. What you simply cannot miss. Okay, never mind. I remembered this tank wrong. Yep, this doesn't bounce too many things. In the hull, it doesn't bounce too many things anywhere. 2600 DPM though, you know, you can at least dish some damage back while they are penetrating you face up. It looks kinda ugly. Like, I have to say, it looks kinda ugly. Like, whenever the turret is bigger than the tank itself, it is an ugly tank for me. Turret 220, 90 and 60 actually. But what is good about this tank, guys, is it is very fast. 1000 horsepower engine, 21 power to weight ratio, 60 top speed, 23 moving backwards, 52.15 traverse speed. So it is very fast. And as they classify it over here as well, it is a sniper medium tank. So you are not going to be frontline warrior in this tank. You are going to be sniping in this. And you want to be sniping in this because whatever sees you is able to penetrate you. Definitely 390 meters view range as well, which is not bad. So K91-2, a sniper. And those are the Soviet vehicles I wanted to talk about in today's video. Next up, let's talk about American tanks. First up, TL7. You have actually seen this tank played by me on the channel, because this is still not yet available on any other server besides Asian server. They had the Golden Armory event where Asian server people were able to get this tank as a permanent vehicle. It is available publicly over there, but not yet on EU or on NA, for example. But I would say it is only a matter of time when this tank comes available on all the other servers as well. I have made one full dedicated video about that. It felt actually pretty damn nice. It is the auto-loading tank destroyer. It is a tank destroyer actually. No, it is not a medium tank, a heavy tank. It is a tank destroyer with 4 shells in the magazine, 360 per pop. It's, yeah, I had some good time. I had some good time with it. I had some great games with it. So definitely check out the video if you want to know more about the TL7. Next up, T54 Heavy. I have also seen some Super Dest player accounts where they have tried out T54 Heavy, so I guess this tank is quite close being released, and over here it says it makes you more credits as well, so it might be a tier 9 premium vehicle with American premium vehicle with 450 alpha, 240 penetration, 12-second reload time, minus 12 degrees of gun depression, guys, minus 12 degrees of gun depression, not bad, 2.4 second aiming time, 0.36 dispersion, good, 2.1000 DPM. So the best thing about the firepower, of course, 2 things shine, alpha damage, weird number, kind of a unique number, 450. Do we have any other tanks with 450 alpha? I don't actually, like, I can't think about any from the top of my head. I know we have 440 alpha tanks, but not 450. Maybe. Let me know, guys, in the comments, of course. And the second unique thing is minus 12 degrees of gun depression. This is nutty. Survivability, 1,700 hit points, 254 in the face of the hull, in the face of the turret, 76 on the sides, 38 and 76. And if we look at the armor profile, let's go heavy tanks. T54 heavy tank. Here is how the armor profile looks like as well. Versus 240 AP pen, commander hatch, easy weak spot. Other than that, it is bouncy as hell. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, it is very bouncy. This turret is quite clean besides the commander hatch, but minus 12 degrees of gun depression, guys. Oh, you can go even deeper. I can go lower. It says. It can go almost like that low. You can put this tank under this angle, but it still has tiny commander hatch weak spot, as you can see, if it is completely hull down. But you only have to hit that, and if the player is moving like this, you can't hit it, you can't hit me, then definitely you're going to get some bounces. So I'm actually interested about this tank because I enjoy the American heavy tank style, and looking at the raw values, ooh, you could play this tank without a stabilizer as well, so I am even more interested now, because it seems to be quite stable enough to play without the stabilizer, so to use turbo on it, which I guess it needs because it has quite a poor mobility, 14.46 power to weight ratio, but 34 top speed, 17 moving backwards, 25 hull rotation. So yeah, it definitely needs some mobility help in the meta right now. Like, I would say one setup on this tank, if you are using 2 equipment setups, one setup, what I would use is with a turbo. We'll see. 400 meter view range as well, meaning you can easily get away without using coated optics. T54 Heavy. Guys, actually looking forward to this, like actually. And those were the American tanks, unreleased the tanks right now. By the way, did we have a premium tank? Yes, we did. That makes you more credits. Next up, I'm going to talk about something which I think I have not heard before. Maybe like some time ago, and I do not even remember. I have talked about this, but I actually do not remember me talking about Udes 033. No, this is not the tank destroyer, this is a sniper medium tank, Swedish tier 9 sniper medium tank. Udes 033. 360 alpha, 252 penetration, so quite a nice penetration, 9.1 second reload time, minus 13 degrees of contemplation, so this has to be the oscillating turret, right? The siege mode tank, basically, or just, you know, like STB1 or Udes not Udes 03, Udes 1516. It has to be the same treatment over here, because I don't see how this gun would be minus 13 degrees otherwise. 1.82 second aiming time, nice. 0.34 accuracy, nice. So it is indeed a sniper medium tank for sure, firepower wise. Survivability 1600 hit points. It has very slopey hull, very bad turret, but very slopey. So actually interested how the armor profile looks like. Where is it? Udes 03. Udes 03, what are the soft stats? On the borderline, like maybe you can get away using improved aiming unit instead of stabilizer, but just maybe. But how is this looking like? Let's see, live model. Yeah, it is very slopey, but turret easy. Like turret is auto pen, unless you're unlucky. Unless, actually, you know, you have to hit toes. You could miss your shot, you could hit high. If you hit low, you're going to bounce from the upper plate. You could hit the gun mantled, which is still a penetration, actually. Yeah, overall, I would say turret is quite cheese. The only things what are bouncing is the upper plate. Not too much more to talk about the armor profile over there. No armor, 50 top speed, 20 moving backwards, 20 power to weight ratio, 380 meters view range. So Udes 033, a medium tank with the special hydro-pneumatic suspension, right? Not oscillating turret, it is the hydro-pneumatic suspension. That's what I meant, actually. Okay, what do you think about that? Once again, let me know. Now, next up, let's talk about Tier 10 tanks, guys. What people have seen on the live server as well. The most interesting one is Leon, so I'm going to leave that as the final tank, guys. First up, we have VZ55 Gothic Warrior, GW, in the game. In the game files, this tank is actually already released on the Chinese server. They released it in one of the auction systems we had, I think like 3-4 months ago, something like that. It is actually released on the Chinese server, and it is a copy-based tank to the Tech 3 VZ55. It is just a special category vehicle, which makes you bonds and more experience and free crew transfer. Everything is the same. It has the double shotgun as well, picked as this tank. It has the special style as well, which I'm not able to show you in the game, sadly. Quite a nice, quite a beautiful style, I would say so. But yeah, you know, nothing more to say about this. It is released on the Chinese server, not on the EU, not on the NA. And I don't know, like this is here you can see the style a bit. And I don't know even if I would like to see this tank in the game. On the other servers, because VZ55 is already too strong. We do not need more of those in the matchmaking, I would say. Next up, 116F3. This is a Tier 10 tank, which, well, right now it shows it makes more credits, but I don't believe this is going to be the case, for sure. Like, it shows as a premium Tier 10, but too early wargaming, right? They just started introducing Tier 9, so I would not say this stays over here, so keep that in mind, guys. This is autoloader. This is a Chinese auto-loading heavy tank with 530 alpha, 266 penetration, 30-second reload time for the mag, 3 shells in the mag, 5-second reload time between shots. Minus 8 degrees of contemplation, not bad. 2.78 second aiming time, 0.4 accuracy, 2345 DPM, 2345 DPM. Firepower, pretty strong. Like, you can take 2 shots, you can deal 1060 damage when enemy is able to fire one shot. Or maybe you're even able to empty the clip. Depends on their reload time. If they have over 10-second reload time, you're able to empty your clip. If they do not have over 10-second reload time, then you take 2 for the team as well. Survivability, 2100 hit points, 195, 120, very good side armor. 300, 180, 60. Let's take a look at the armor profile as well. This is, what was that? 116, right? This one. Versus 200, ooh, 266. Oh my god. This is a beefy boy, like, even on the flat ground. What are tier 8s going to do? What are tier 9s going to do without premium rounds, guys? Side scraping. When you side scrape, you're going to reveal your weak spot, which is the turret ring. As you can see. This is a beefy boy, but how I didn't see the turret ring in the game? Wait, what? The turret ring is not even visible, you can see. It is hidden behind the spaced armor plates right over there, so you have to know what you're doing against this tank when it is side scrape. Oh, this will be a nasty tank to deal with, actually. I would say this will be a nasty one to deal with. Jesus. Like, this is just a flat, like, metal plates everywhere. Damn. Yeah. Look at that. Like, it is not even visible, the weak spot. It is behind those toolboxes over there, or, you know, where you can put some tools in real life. So, mobility, 35 drop speed, very slow. Yeah, very slow. 35 drop speed, 14.48 power to weight ratio, 20 moving backwards. Reverse speed is actually pretty damn good. I would say so, 400 meters view range as well, but Jesus, 116 F3, what are you doing? And it has the auto-loading gun as well. Yeah. I don't even know if I would like to see this in the game, because yes, you know, it is awesome to play with all those strong tanks, but we also have to think about the fact that you have to face it, guys. So this smells awfully like it, like a Clan Wars or like maybe Ranked Battles reward vehicle. It honestly has that smell to it. Or maybe Personal Missions 2.0, guys. Maybe. Or maybe Assembly Shop. Let me know what you think about 116 F3 in the comments. But talking about Assembly Shop vehicles, Leon, our final tank today. This smells awfully like an Assembly Shop vehicle as well. Or once again, Clan Wars, which would be boring. Ranked Battles reward tank. But I don't know, for some reason I get Assembly Shop vibes over here. And by the way, it says more credits as well. I don't think this is the case. And once again. But Leon is Italian sniper medium tank. It is Italian Leopard, it looks like Italian Leopard. But this auto-reloading tank has kinda weird reload times in its gun system. Because usually it is when your magazine is full, your first shell reloads the fastest. Or the Soviet tanks, for example, when your magazine is empty, your first shell, you know, when it is empty, reloads the fastest. But over here, it is your third shell actually, which reloads the fastest. Because the full clip reload time is 49.86 seconds, but pay attention over here. When the magazine is empty, the shell takes 20.1 seconds to reload, so it is a massive penalty actually. When you empty your clip, it is almost half of the full clip reload time. To load in one shell, 20.1 seconds. You basically never want to empty your clip. But the second shell reloads in 7.7 seconds. The third one, 9.6. The final one, 12.5. So, if your magazine is full at the start of the game, basically, to get the best DPM out of it, you have to empty 2 first, or you have to shoot 2 first shots, and you have to start cycling the final one. The third one. And never shoot the final one unless you really have to. Unless it is 1v1 and you need to take your enemy out before they are going to take you out. Otherwise, switching from 7.7 second reload to 20.1, it does not make sense. You lose so much DPM. It takes almost 3 times as long, right? So keep that in mind. And this is a unique something unique for the auto-loading tanks. 420 alpha, by the way, 258 penetration, 4.5 second reload time between shots, 4 shells in the mag, minus 9 degrees of gun depression, 2.59 aiming time, 0.32 accuracy. So it is accurate, but aiming time is quite long, I can say. And DPM 3285, if you cycle it like that, with the fastest reload, I would say. Or how is this counted over here if I cycle this one or if I cycle that one? Is this the best potential DPM, or how exactly is it counted? But, you know, you get the gun system now, guys. Survivability-wise, 1850 hull armor. No, it doesn't have a hull armor too much. It's like... Okay, let's take a look at the 3D model as well. Medium tank, Leon. Right over here. Yeah. Well, turret is actually bouncy. Turret is actually quite bouncy, but hull is easy penetration everywhere. It needs stabilizer. Yeah, it does need stabilizer. Yes, yes, yes. And the reload times over here as well, just like that. In the game, those are switched around for some reason compared to the tanks.gg. Okay. So armor-wise, turret bouncy, but hull, nothing. Nothing on the hull. Mobility, 60 top speed, 19.3 power to weight ratio. Not bad, not bad. 400 meters view range, so you can get away without using coated optics, and you can bump the gun handling, you can use ventilation to bump the reload speeds, and maybe something else, turbo, improved hardening, something along those lines. But this is what people have seen on the live servers as well, another tank which is actually already in the game, being tested by the super test players. Ladies and gentlemen, and this was my today's video, introducing 10 tanks which are not in the game. Some tanks are on some other servers. What do you think about all of those? Which one is your favorite? Which one are you looking forward to most? What surprised me the most is this freaking behemoth over here. What are you? Who are you, actually? Alright, guys. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below, and in the top pinned comment you can see the Santa Helpers teams as well. If you want to join my team in the Santa Helpers event, get yourself a free camo, and maybe you're lucky to win something from our giveaway as well. After the event is over, all the rewards are credited. After the event is over, then check out the event and join our team. If you have not picked your team yet, keep in mind you're only able to pick one content creator, and you cannot re-pick it. You cannot unpick them. You cannot unpick me if you choose me, for example, and vice versa. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Stay naked. And stay sexy.